Have you done any interviews before?
Not like this, no. My name is Patrick Waldo. I am the Director of Product Management and Planning at Decernis, a food chain ID company. Decernis is the leader in providing regulatory information to the largest consumer product companies in the world and food companies to help them comply with international rules and regulations. So in the summer of 2013, we were looking for help with Plone, which was a content management system that we were using very heavily at the time. And STX was one of the people who responded to our ad in the various forums and postings that we had made. And I was very quickly impressed by the quality and the scope that STX offered, particularly at that time the work they were doing in the banking sector, which from a confidential and privacy and security perspective is very close to our world. We started with one developer at the time, and within 6 months we had spun up a full Scrum team with 3 developers and a tester. Perhaps the story that stands out to me the most is when I came on a planning trip in the winter a number of years ago, and we were finishing out a client project, so there were a lot of deliverables. And instead of doing the typical planning session, we turned it into a hackathon because the whole team basically rallied together to finalize this project and solve all of the customer's problems. At that time, I was still developing, so I saddled up with them and we basically spent the next 48 hours fielding emails and feedback that we were getting live from the client, and one by one knocking out all of the bugs or improvements or feature requests that at the very last minute they were making. And then we signed off on the project and everything went well. So I knew that I could be in the trenches with that team. That's the level of trust that I have for them. And that was probably one of the very early experiences that I knew I could rely on STX. The tech stack has evolved quite a bit over the years. We started with a content management system called Plone, which is built on top of Zope. And over the last almost 7 years, we have transitioned to a Django API backend and an Angular front end. One thing I learned in college as a cross-country and track runner is that you earn the trust of your team through the miles that you run together. So over the years, we've basically run a number of marathons together with STX. And in all of those miles, we've been working and sweating together. The developers have been working together side by side, and that creates a strong sense of team, not only within the STX teams, but also in the cooperation between Decernis and STX. I really don't have any doubts that if I need something from STX, that they're there to work with me. And that could be spinning up a team on short notice, that could be downsizing the team if the budget requires that, if that means bringing new expertise, if that means bringing on a contractor for 1 to 3 months, or if it's a day-to-day issue and there's a blocker or a bug, I know that I can call someone at STX and the issue will usually be resolved very, very quickly. Actually, just yesterday, there was a major blocker that we had discovered, and the team resolved it in about 40 minutes. The patch was deployed to production. So that was something that just happened, but the trust was earned many years before.